everyone, it's Anja here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and today we are here to make a cover for a nightlight. I have a small jar of Douwe Egberts, 100 grams, so this will give you the opportunity to go and buy the exact same jar. And then obviously you can make the exact same pattern for it. Yeah, so that's the jar. It's been in my office for a while, so let's get going on this now. I have here my cotton that I had left over from my Cath Kidston colours. So this is King Cole super soft cotton in the colours Lipstick, Cloud, White, Fondant and Lime. And as you can see, I have been making face pads and stuff with it, and so I have something left. But obviously you still want to be making things with it, and you know, so it's a nice project to use your ends up, really. So I'm going to use a 3.5 hook. And I'm still using my wooden one. I'm quite liking it, so I like you know, the feel of it. And you'll need some snips and a darning needle, of course, as well. So we are going to get started. I have most of the red, so that is what I am going to use for the bottom of my crochet cover for my jar. We're going to make a slip knot. Insert your hook and do 3 chains. 2 and 3. Then we insert our hook back into the first chain. You bring up a loop and you slip stitch into the loop on your hook. You now have a small hook, a small opening here. And that is what you're going to use to place 12 double crochets, but we're going to start with a chain, and that counts as a double crochet. So a chain of 2, and now we are going to do another 11 double crochets. I'm using American terms. So we are going to create 12 V's on top of our circle. So I will do this and I will meet you when you have your circle of 12 double crochets. Okay, if I count back from my hook to my start here, I have 11 V's. So I'm not going to do another double crochet because that will make 12 V's, and then I have a slip stitch, which is the 13th V. So I'm going to go under this first stitch here. So that's over the chain 2, and I'm going to do a slip stitch there. So that slip stitch has now created the top of that chain 2. Okay, so I now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 V's along my edge. Again, we are going to chain 2, and in the first stitch we are going to do 2 double crochets, and that is what we are going to do in every stitch around. So 2 double crochets in every stitch around, and when we come to our last stitch, you will see that already there is coming out this chain, which is our second double crochet. So all we need to do is place another double crochet in there, and that will then make those 2 double crochets that we need in that stitch. So I will see you when you are ready to do that last double crochet. I have now arrived at the place where I meet this stitch, and in that stitch already we have this chain, and so that counts as my second double crochet. I'm putting in the first double crochet, and now I am going to go under this V here and do a slip stitch, and that completes that chain into a double crochet. Then we are going to chain up, and this time I am going to do, in the first stitch, I'm going to do 1 double crochet. In the second stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Then in the next stitch, 1. In the second stitch, 2. So that is the pattern that we are going to be repeating. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. That's what you're going to be repeating all the way around, and I will see you at the end where you have to put that second double crochet into the one where there is already the first one there, or the other way around, the first one where there is already the second one. I am now in the place where I have to do that first double crochet where that chain is already in there, and if you don't end on a double, then there is something wrong, so you'll have to just go back and see what you missed somewhere, and then you do a slip stitch, and this is the circle that you have now. Now it's always important to keep on trying it on, and so this is just about the size that I need for the bottom of our jar here. So we are now going to go up, and I am going to chain 2, and this row we're going to be working in the back loops only, but only for this row. Okay, so back loop only is this one here that you are going to be picking up. So normally we pick up both, but this time we are only picking up this one here. Okay, so this is the last double crochet from a granny cluster that we are going to be putting in here, but we are just going to forget about that now. So we are going to skip 2 stitches, and into the third one in the back loop only we are going to do 3 double crochets. Now you'll see that you do pull up that loop a little bit, but it will come down again once you are, you know, sort of you're doing the other ones as well. So skip 2 stitches into the third one, back loop only, 3 double crochets. And this is the way you're going to go round. Now you should have 36 stitches, and 36 is divisible by 3, so it should work out quite nicely. I will see you when you're at the end of the round where we have to finish that last double crochet cluster that we started with that chain but didn't quite finish. So I will see you at the end of the round. So I did my last granny cluster here, then I have 2 free stitches, and then we have that chain coming out of the third stitch here. So all I need to do is go into this stitch and do 2 more double crochets, and then I am going to go under this V here and do a slip stitch to complete the round. And this way you can't tell where you have started. So it is time for a color change. So we are just going to cut off the wool, and I always like to try it on. I know this will fit, but even so, you might think, oh, it doesn't fit. It will do, don't worry. Once you've got more, you know, going up the sides, it will be okay. Right? So, next color, blue, the cloud blue. And I roll my leftovers when it gets to difficult. See, this one is still okay, and there's quite a lot left, and I roll the outside round it like this so it keeps it together. But once it gets to sort of, you know, a small amount, I roll it onto a toilet roll, and that keeps it a little bit neater. So I am going to do a slip knot, and I put it round my hook. So we're doing a double crochet, so that means we're going to yarn over, pick up our work, and we just go in between two clusters, pull up a loop, make sure you don't lose your yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Okay, so that's our first double crochet done. We need to do another 2 in here because that's what we are going to do. We are going to place granny clusters, so that's 3 double crochets in between the clusters from the previous row. There we go. And that's how you're going to continue. And I will see you at the end of the row. I'm at the end of my row, but here my standing stitch, that sort of closes up for me. It's sort of pulled a bit closed and can't get my hook in. So what I do is I go into the second stitch here, do a slip stitch, and then that slip stitch really sort of takes over the top of the, you know, the standing stitch there. So then you do have a nice top there. And again, we are going to cut off our wool. You'll have to sew in the ends. And we are going to change colour again. So this time I am using white, and once again I am making a slip knot. I insert my hook, and I am going to do a standing double crochet, so that means I have to yarn over, and I insert, pull up a loop, pull through two, and there we go. We have started our new round. So really, this is what you're going to be doing all along. And so this is the rounds that you will be repeating with standing double crochet and 2 double crochets, and then putting 3 double crochets in each but in between each cluster from the previous round. Then you finish with a slip stitch and you change color again. So I have done 10 rows of this. So we are now working on our 3rd row. So I'll need to do another 7 after this. So in total you need 10 granny cluster rows. So I'm going to keep you updated on my progress, so keep watching. I'll have small short videos of my progress, and then we will finish off the top as well. So be prepared to do another row after your 10. So here I did the white, and then I did a pink row. Here I added green and red, and it is working up nicely. Then I added blue and white, and finally a green, a pink and a green. See, I've started with red, I've got red in the middle, and I want to finish with red, and this, as you can tell, goes in. Okay, so I need to do something now to make it go in narrower. So I've got the red on my hook as we normally start, and I'm yarning over, and I am going to do a cluster, but this time I am going to do it together. So we are going to do, oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. We are going to do 3 double crochets, half finished, and then we finish them together. Then we do a chain, and we do the same thing in the next opening. So this will reduce our stitch count by 1 per 3, by a third, so to speak. Oh, that's my logic here. So that's what you call 3 crochets together. So let's see if I can show you. That's number 3, and then we finish them together. It looks a little bit different from the normal granny clusters, but not too different that it would look wrong, I think. I hope. Continue like this until you have 2 more clusters to do. So as you can see, my work is going in. Okay, so the only thing is we need to get it still into the jar. So I suggest, I should have removed this little label first, really. I suggest that you put it in now while it's still open, like so. And then that you do the last few ones while it is on there. It's not going to be that as easy as before, but it will be easier to do it like this than to try and get it round when you have finished, because you might not get it in at all. So let's see if we can manage this. There we go. And we just need to do another one. And this way we know that the cover will also stay on. And a chain, and now we need to find this bit here, and we are going to do a slip stitch into any stitch that you can get under, really, and do a slip stitch. There we go. So we cut it off, we pull it through, and you'll have to have a little, so all the ends were put in. I put all the ends in, so I give it a little bit of a knot there, and I'm just going to sew them in sort of via the back with a needle. That will be fine, just trying to do it from the top. But this way it's nicely covered and you can't get it off. And not only can you use it as a tea light holder, but also you can use pencils. You can put pencils in it, put your hooks in it, pens, earbuds, cotton buds, whatever you need, really. And this is a nice cover for a plain jar. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.